Hello guys, you're welcome to Sleekademics. Now, let's look at a special type of diffusion known as osmosis. In this case, it involves the movement of water molecules. So, osmosis can be defined as the flow of water from a region of weaker solution to a region of stronger solution through a semi-permeable membrane. Osmosis, like we earlier mentioned, is a special type of diffusion. And examples of semi-permeable membrane includes parchment paper, animal's bladder, cell membranes in plants and animals. Osmosis is special in the sense that it involves semi-permeable membrane, which allows only selective passage to some materials and not to all materials. Now, let's take a look at some conditions necessary for osmosis to take place. First, there must be the presence of a stronger solution, such as a sugar or salt solution. Also, secondly, presence of weaker solution, such as distilled water. And finally, the presence of semi-permeable membrane. Always have in mind that for osmosis, there must be the presence of a semi-permeable membrane. Now, let's take a look at some examples of osmosis in living things. Living things here, we are looking at plants and animals. Some examples of osmosis in plants include absorption of water by the root hairs of the plant, maintenance of turgor pressure, opening and closing movement of stomata in leaves, plasmolysis in cells, movement of water from one cell to another in plants, and some examples of osmosis in animals include reabsorption of water into the kidney tubules in vertebrates, haemolysis and crenation of red blood cells, osmoregulatory functions in the contractile vacuoles of amoeba or paramecium, and maintenance of the shape of mammalian cells in the surrounding tissue fluid. In the course of the studies of these phenomena earlier mentioned, most especially osmosis, you shall be coming across so many words such as plasmolysis, haemolysis, flaccidity, turgidity, isotonic, hypertonic, and hypotonic. But first, let us explain what hypotonic, isotonic, and hypertonic means. A solution is said to be hypotonic when a cell of a living plant or animal is surrounded by solution whose solute concentration is lower. Then water passes into the cell by osmosis. Also, isotonic. A solution is said to be isotonic if the solute concentration of the cell and its surrounding medium are of equal concentration. Also, we have hypertonic. A solution is said to be hypertonic when the cell is surrounded by a stronger solution. Water will be lost by the cell and the cell will shrink as a result of the surrounding solution because it has lost water. Now, let's go back and explain the rest of the terms. Plasmolysis is simply the outward movement of water from living cells when they are placed in a hypertonic solution. In this case, the cell will have to lose much water because the surrounding environment is more concentrated. So water will leave it and this cell in question would shrink. And in this case, we say that the cell has been plasmolyzed. Then we have haemolysis. Haemolysis simply is the escape of hemoglobin from the red blood cell due to the damage to the surface membrane of the cells when it is placed in a hypotonic solution. It simply implies that the cell is found in a weaker environment, thereby leading to water moving into the cell, causing it to swell, to the point that it swells up and bursts, thereby leading to escape of hemoglobin. And this is what we mean by haemolysis. Then we have turgidity. It is the condition in which cells absorb plenty of water to the point where the cell is fully stretched. Turgidity always happens when a cell is placed in a hypotonic solution. A turgid cell can produce two types of pressures. The Turgot pressure, which is an outward pressure exerted on the cell by the fluid contents of the cell. And it can also exert another type of pressure known as the wall pressure. This is an inward pressure exerted on the cell contents by the stretched cell wall. Then finally, flaccidity. It is the condition in which plants lose water to their surroundings faster than they can absorb. Flaccidity normally occurs when there is no water in the cell or during drought. In such situations, the reserved water from the cell vacuoles is withdrawn and used. Continuous loss of water to the surrounding may cause the plant to be weak, limp, and soft, and in most cases, even die if it happens for a very long time. Okay, guys, that will be it for today. I hope you enjoyed today's class. Please follow us on all our social media platforms. Always keep in touch. Share with us your thoughts and your contributions as they are most appreciated. Thank you and see you in our next class.